public high school, huh? I graduated from one also. So, who here wants to be an artist? Raise your hand. Like dancer, singer, painter, street artist. Oh, great, we got a lot of you. What about the principal? I want to get into. He wants to stay. He wants to keep being the principal. All right, so how to make it as an artist? Well, it's not easy in New York City. If you've seen the recent rent prices here, what is it, like $50 million for a studio now? I painted this painting in Russia. It's a mural. So basically, what my art is that me and my wife, we travel the world and paint peace and love murals, because the more money we spend, then the less money we have to pay in taxes at the end of the year. And so we just keep traveling and traveling, you know. Like IRS is like, hey, you have any money for us? We're like, sorry, no, we spent it all. And my main phrase is, well, I've read the things that people remember the most is the first thing you say and the last thing you say. So I'm going to say, to really make it as an artist, a dancer, a painter, you know, any type of art, architect. You know, of course, everybody's going to say, yeah, you can't make it as a singer, you can't make it as this, you can't make it at that. But you only fail when you give up. If you say, oh, you know, I can't make it as an artist, I can't make it as a dancer, my rent's not paid. Don't worry about your rent not being paid. Your landlord probably got another 1,000 apartments. He's getting rent. He's gonna put you down as that artist living there, always late with the rent forever. So you're gonna be on that list. Don't worry about that. If they tell you to move out, don't even listen. Just stay there. Trust me. You move out when they roll down the block with a tank. And then you're like, I'm getting out of here. All right, let's see what's next. So basically, never give up. Just never give up. If you want to be an artist, you want to be a dancer, just keep dancing. You want to be a singer, just keep singing. You know, sing in the shower, sing on the train on the way to your day job if you have one. Just keep singing and singing and singing. People may look at you like you're crazy. You're singing all day. There was a guy walking down the block or girl singing all day. Yeah, you may look a little crazy, but what's more crazy is if you're not singing and you want to sing and you're just getting on the train, going to some job every day that you don't want to be at. That's more crazy than just keep on singing, you know. If you're a drummer like this guy, just keep playing those drums until the police show up. When the police show up and they're like, there's too much noise, right? Then you know that you played the drums enough. So basically, just never give up. And this is very important. This is another very important one. You gotta surround yourself with great people. If you surround yourself with losers, trust me, you're gonna be a loser. You need to find some winners out there and hang out with them. And if you have other artists that you like, you know, you can go volunteer with them. You could learn something, you know. When you volunteer with a successful drummer or musician or artist or a singer or whatever, you're gonna learn, you know, you're gonna learn real world experience. You're gonna learn from real people who have made it. You know, yeah, you know, if your family has hundreds of thousands of dollars to send you to Harvard or Yale, then you're gonna learn there also, but you know, it's gonna cost you a little bit more. And if you don't have the money and you're paying, you know, you got it on loan, you know, when you get out, you're gonna owe, I don't know how much money at whatever interest the bank is trying to give you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure some of the teachers here still have that mortgage from those, you know, from those banksters. All right, next. But the banksters are good though. If they're buying your artwork, then those ones are right. Just the ones not buying art, you know. All right. So go out and get things done. Basically, I left New York. You know, I was always an artist in New York. I started as a street artist as a little kid from like 7 years old, just looking at the bubbly letters on the wall, all colorful, pink and blue, and I always loved it, even like a little kid. So I would come home and then just try to draw them, and just try to, you know, basically remake all the art I saw on the walls. And it was like early street art that started in New York City. But then in New York, you can't really have space to make art. So I moved to Miami and then got a huge place because it was after the crash, everything was cheap out there. So I was like, I want to make like 40-foot paintings, 20-foot paintings. Like, I know nobody's ever gonna buy these. They're never gonna sell. Who's gonna buy a 20-foot painting by 5 feet high or 8 feet high that took, you know, a long time to make, and you know, who even has room for that, especially in New York? But what started happening is it worked out because people who were like building big mansions, they're like, as crazy as me, they're like, oh, now I need a 25-foot painting for my mansion. So I started getting like all these like really rich people like buying my art. Well, anyway, this is an art show I did in New York where I just basically, you know, just filled up the whole gallery with art. Just like, you know, a lot of galleries, they're like, yeah, we'll put 5 paintings up. I'm like, no, we'll put like 500 paintings up. So just like, you know, that's just the way they used to hang them in France in the old days. All right, so let's see what's next. All right, this is very, very important also if you want to be an artist. You gotta look like an artist. Just looking like an artist will get you things, you know? Like you walk into a place with pink hair and graffiti all over your jacket, like you don't even have to show them your artwork. The gallery owner's gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna give you a show right now. And take your paintings and just hang them right up on the wall. That has happened, so. You can ask my wife. Like, I know I tell a lot of stories, but, you know, she can confirm she was there. Right, Kitty? So basically, don't be boring. Like, and it doesn't, you don't have to go, you know, to the most expensive store and buy $500 sneakers and, you know, the latest outfit, the latest this. Even better than that, you can get a needle and thread. You can buy fabric for like $3 a yard, $5 a yard, and you can sew your own shirts, sew your own pants, make your own outfit, you know? Because then you'll look original. It won't be like something from H&M where another million people have it, you know, and they saw another million people wear it, and they're like, oh, you know, just get away from it, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta, I've gotten gallery shows just cause I had like spiked up blue hair in Miami. The gallery owner's like, yeah, we're gonna give this guy a show. Like, I didn't even have to show him my artwork. It's the same with music, you know, people, basically musicians, you know, like the whole Adidas thing, that started in Jamaica, Queens, you know, with Run DMC, and now it's like all over, you know, this whole style. Basically all the style, everything starts in New York, and it goes to the rest of the world. But we're in New York, so I could say that, right? Yeah. So basically, just don't be boring. Be exciting. You know, people look to the arts for excitement, for something different. You know, the rest of the world, they're at their 9 to 5 all day. They're bored to hell. It's Friday. They want to go out. They want to see a good band. They want to see a good singer. They want to see a good painting. They want to see something different. They want to see something exciting. So don't be boring. Be exciting. Even if you're a boring person, just pretend like you're exciting. You know what I mean? Find somebody exciting and like act like them or something. You know, like. All right, this is another one. You have to develop your own style. Like it's great to say, all right, I love this artist, I love that artist, I love classical art, I love whatever, I love this type of singing, that type of singing, but eventually, you know, you can use all the styles to build up, you know, your own encyclopedia inside, but eventually you'll have to, you know, develop, and this is like your style where people know, oh, that's them, you know, and that just takes a lifetime. Like you could ask the other artists here who are old like me, and they'll tell you, you know, it's gonna take your whole life. It's not gonna just like happen overnight, like, all right, like, you know, tomorrow I'm gonna be a rich and famous artist. It's gonna take years and years and years and years. And you're gonna have to do it every single day. It's not 9 to 5, right? It's every day, 7 days a week. You know, it's not full time, it's overtime all the time. It's like every single day, especially, you know, in this type of business where they're just cutting everything. You know, when he was a kid, he said he could take home the instruments and practice. You know, when I was a kid, I went to Bryan High School. We were basically on the same street as the Woodside Projects. There was no art class. Like, people ask me, like, did you have art classes there? I was like, Well, we had graffiti art, but we did that at night. That was our art class. Like, I never even knew until I was like, went to college about painting on a canvas. To me, it was like, you know, you get the paint, then you go find a wall, and you paint a mural, you know, and you hope like you don't get arrested. You hope you get home that night, you know. And then like later on, I was like, oh wow, I was like, this canvas thing, this is much easier. Don't have to run, don't have to jump, don't have to climb barbed wire fences, don't have to fall off a moving train. It's not as exciting though. You know, like I remember like I started young from like 7 to like 17. I was doing more of the street art stuff. So there's a lot of running, a lot of jumping, a lot of climbing. And then I went to college and was in the studio, and I'm like trying to paint with oil paint, like I'm trying to paint all fast, you know. With spray paint, it dries quick, and then you could put another layer, and then, you know, a couple hours, then you're gone. You know, with oil paint, it's like, I'm looking at the other students, they're all like painting all slow. I'm like trying to paint all fast with the oil paint. I'm like, keep looking behind me. And then I'm like, why is everybody so calm in this room? And I'm like so nervous, and I keep looking behind me. I realized I had like PTSD from street art, just like being all, you know. And then the oil paint, it wasn't drying. Like a lot of artists here, you know, oil paint, it takes like a couple of weeks to dry, and it was like, I was like trying to do a fill-in and then do the outline like around it. It wasn't dry. I was like, it wasn't for me, you know. But I enjoyed the part where I could just be more calm and, you know, wouldn't have to worry so much as I used to. But with that, you definitely just want to keep doing your craft every day. Like you have to sing every day. If you live with roommates and they're like, stop singing, like you gotta kick them out and get some new roommates who are like, yeah, I love that song. You know what I mean? All right, so this is very, very important too. I know a lot of people don't want to do sales. You know, that's like, oh, business, gotta learn how to sell, you know. But if you do have to get a day job, you know, to pay your bills while you're waiting, you know, for the show Friday night that you're gonna go sing at or play at or your next art show, get a job doing sales, because you may think, oh, I'm a singer, I'm not gonna have to sell anything. Yes, you are. You're gonna have to sell yourself every single day. You're gonna have to look the part, you're gonna have to deal with people, and you're gonna have to sell yourself to them. Like for them to wanna work with you, you're gonna have to tell them basically what they wanna hear, you know. You can, you know, be one of those, you know, crazy artists that's just like, oh, I don't want to tell people what they want to hear, or come up with a style and then it's selling, and then be like, oh, I don't want to do that style no more, and this and that. And I know a lot of artists with a lot of talent who are just difficult to work with, and they don't get anywhere, you know. So you can choose your own, and it's already as hard enough trying to be an artist. So let's see what's next. And this is very important also, because especially in the music world more, there's a lot of, you'll see later, there's a lot of politics, let's call it, where you're trying to do one thing and the record label's trying to do another thing, you know. So they're gonna try to get you to change what you're doing, change the style. Basically, they wanna be an artist, so, but they're not. They're like a business person, executive, somebody with money, you know what I mean? But they're gonna wanna project everything onto you, but you're trying to keep your art pure, you know, and that's what you wanna do. If they're gonna like try to force you to change something, then don't do it. Because if you look at like early rap or hip hop or graffiti or breakdancing or street art, it was happy, it was positive. We came from some of the worst ghettos in the world. The Bronx was burnt down to the ground. It looked like after World War II, it looked like it just got bombed by the Nazis or something. And that's basically where these art forms came from. Breakdancing, rap, which is, they changed to hip hop now, and graffiti, which is street art now. And all these styles are around the whole world right now. You can go to the end of Asia, the end of Russia, the ends of Europe, and you're gonna see all these styles that started in New York. All this started in New York. Before this stuff was coming out of France with Impressionism. But now all this stuff is coming out of New York, and all the art is cut everywhere. This is like one of the last schools that have it. You guys and girls here are like the last of the Mohicans over here. So just, if you want to be a singer, you want to be a painter, just never give up. Just, that's what you have to do. You just have to never give up. Forget about the rent, forget about the landlord complaining, just keep doing it. You know what I mean? You just gotta keep doing it another day. What really made me successful is, at first, is like, I just got out of New York, because the rents, seriously, are just too damn high here. So if you're coming out of high school, if you don't wanna go to college, or if you are gonna go to college, or if you just wanna become a singer or a musician, you gotta survive, basically. You gotta find a way to get that rent paid, or, you know, get your food, get your electric bill, buy your instruments, buy your paint, buy your everything. You know, I think a great place now to do that would be if you wanted to go a couple of years and, like, you know, make your album and then come back to New York and just run around and say, this is my album, I'm gonna play it everywhere. But, you know, it takes a couple of years to make that album or to make those paintings. Detroit right now, you can get a house for like $100. You can bring all your equipment there. You can call all your friends and just be like, yo, I got a big house for $100. Trust me, you're gonna have like all your friends in New York, they were looking at that rent, $5,000 for this red space here. You're gonna have like 100 people helping you build your house or fix it. You know, you're paying $100 for a house, but there's gonna be some things to fix. It's not gonna be like, you know. So let's see what's next. All right, basically that's it. So just never give up. Just keep doing it. That's the main point I'm trying to get through. The main point I'm trying to get through is just never give up. Just keep playing those drums, keep singing, keep painting, keep doing it, keep dancing. Just dance, and that's it, you know. Just don't be dancing at one of those clubs, you know, where they make you take your clothes off. Keep your clothes off. Thanks.